Hi, welcome to this edition of 5-Minute Fridays with CDH, and I'm Dave Tappan, and today I'm going to continue my series on how to make the switch from classic mode to modern mode document libraries in SharePoint Online. You know, like I said last time, a lot of people are still sticking with classic mode, which you know, it's not just because they're hidebound or averse to change. There are some features in classic mode that are not available in modern mode. For example, you got Connect to Outlook and Open with Explorer are not yet available in SharePoint modern mode. But you know, the great thing is that they're constantly adding features. So in this modern mode library, for example, you know, up until about a month ago, you couldn't export to Excel, but now you can. So they'll probably keep adding those features, and sooner or later, you're going to want to make the switch. So today I want to talk to you about how to find things in modern document libraries, an important thing to be able to do. Obviously, if you got a library with 100,000 documents in it, you know, it gets really annoying to constantly struggle to find the document you're looking for. So, you know, if we go back to classic mode, there are, you know, how did you find documents? One of the best ways, a great feature they added in classic mode was this find a file box where I could just type something and it would look in the document, it would look in the metadata, in the title, whatever, you know, and it's really super fast, runs on SharePoint search. So that's a great feature. And then, you know, another way that you could work with finding documents in classic mode was if you were trying to filter on metadata. There's this thing down here called metadata navigation that's really useful. And what you could do is you could just click in here and say, you know, I want to see just general correspondence, and it would filter down to it. And now one thing people didn't like is that, you know, you can't view two of these at once. So if I click on general correspondence and then I click on Brian Smith, it switches instead of doing both at the same time. But still, those are great features, but how do you do those things in modern mode? So find a file, first thing we notice is it's missing. Where did it go? Well, it's here. They just moved it up to the upper right in this little search box on the upper right, and it still does the same thing, but it also does something pretty cool, which is it gives you previews here, and you can see what matches as you type, or you can just hit enter and get your filtered view just like you could do before. So trying to clear the filter, we'll just, there we go. So that's there, and you know, it takes a minute to find it, but once you find it, it's actually kind of better. What about the metadata navigation? Again, it seems to be missing down here on the lower left, but what they did was they moved it here to the upper right. If I click on this little filter icon, I get all the filters, and great new addition, what I was talking about before. If I click on general correspondence, it filters to that. And then if I click on Brian Smith, it combines the filters. So that's a lot more useful and a great improvement in the functionality. And the fact that you can just kind of hide it away and that it's always there is really, really nice. Now, by the way, to clear your filter, you just click on this little clear filters icon here, and that'll bring you back to where you were. So what about, there's one new feature for finding documents, and that's, you know, it's really common that there's a document that everyone on the team's constantly using, and they get sick of, you know, drilling down, looking for it, scrolling around. And so if you constantly use it, one of the cool things you can do here is you can select a document, you can say pin to top. And so there it is at the top, and everyone who comes into the library is going to see it there. Now, one thing I wish they would do is make it a little bit more available everywhere. But as you'll see here, if I switch views to, like, say, a folder-based view, that goes away. And if I go into, say, legal documents and I decide to pin this document, great, it's pinned to the top. But if I come back to here, it's only in that folder. So I would suggest to Microsoft that they add super pin to top as an added feature. And knowing them, next month it'll be there. So let's keep watching and waiting for the new features. And thanks for attending today. I will have more updates on how to use modern libraries next time. Thanks a lot.